Hey, what's up? This is Bo. Welcome to my channel, BarakudaTime. If you are a fan of watches and travels, please subscribe to my channel. You can also find me on Instagram, same name, BarakudaTime. This video, we'll do a side-by-side comparison of two watches, Rolex Submariner and Blancpain 50 Fathoms 70th Anniversary Act 1. You may ask, why we bring these two watches together? Submariner and 50 Fathoms are both in 1953, and they are the first diving watches in the world. Submariner has always been in the 40 to 41 mm size range, and 50 Fathoms mass production version have been focused on the 45 mm size. 50 Fathoms has 40 mm size watches, but they are only for limited editions. This Blancpain 50 Fathoms 70th Anniversary Limited Edition is the first ever 42 mm 50 Fathoms, and there is rumor that a mass production version of 42 mm will be available in the near future. So, we will take this opportunity to compare the 42 mm 50 Fathoms with Rolex Submariner to feel the different product development style, design language, and marketing strategy the diving watches between Blancpain and Rolex. In this channel, I have made review videos on both of them separately, so in this video, I will not go through the details. If you want to see the complete review, please check them out in my channel. In this video, we will compare the two watches under 7 topics. Number 1. History. In 1953, independently and incidentally, both Rolex and Blancpain released their waterproof watches for swimming and diving activities. On their first diving watches, both companies chose white bulky marks and hands with luminescent on the black background for high contrast readability, self-winding movement to reduce the open and close times of the crown, a rotating bezel to track immersion time, and of course, a perfectly sealed case for waterproof. The appearances and designs are slightly different, which can still be observed on their modern versions. After the first Submariner, Rolex has kept the same design and continuously did fine-tuning of the watch until now, like adding crown guard, adding date function, using sapphire crystal, using higher grade stainless steel, and using scratch-resistant ceramic bezel. Even the current Submariner has exactly the same design language with the first one, but with far improved details. While 50 Fathoms is not that lucky. After working with militaries of multiple countries and developed mil-spec, Barakuda, no radiation, and Aqualon, Blancpain has discontinued 50 Fathom series in 1980s and focused on developing the complicated movements. Beginning in 2003, Blancpain restarted 50 Fathom series and developed the modern 50 Fathoms. For the Submariner and 50 Fathoms we reviewed today, we can see they both inherited the DNA from their ancestors. Number 2. Box and package. Rolex Submariner used the M-size Rolex box set with beige outer box and a dark green watch box. The accessories include seal, tag, warranty card, and manuals. The 50 Fathoms comes in a much bigger package. Inside the black outer box, there are two box type of watch box, travel pouch, warranty card, manuals, and diving box. Number 3. Technical comparison. Both watches are in stainless steel case. The Submariner is 41 mm in diameter, and the 50 Fathoms is in 42 mm in diameter. On the Submariner, the lugs have a flat transition into the side of the case, but the 50 Fathoms only has extremely small lugs. So, 50 Fathoms looks and feels smaller than its diameter size. Visually, these two watches are similar in size. The crowns of both watches have similar size, but Submariner definitely has a larger crown sizes. Both watches use sapphire crystal as the watch cover. In harmony with the design of the whole watch, 50 Fathoms has a dome sapphire and Submariner has a flat sapphire. The bezel of the two watches represented the current two strategies to minimize scratch marks. Before 2003, diving watches usually use aluminum to make the bezel, which easily collects scratches. To prevent the scratch on the bezel, materials with high mold scale of mineral hardness has to be used. In 2003, Blancpain chose sapphire on its 50th anniversary 50 Fathoms. In 2010, Rolex chose ceramic on its 116610LN Submariner. The dome sapphire on the 50 Fathoms and flat ceramic on the Submariner also matches their own design language. The 0-minute mark of the bezel is marked as an inverted triangle with a lumen ball on Submariner and diamond shape on 50 Fathoms. On Submariner bezel, numbers are in 10 minutes interval, while on 50 Fathoms, 15 minutes intervals are used. Both of them have 5 minutes interval for major marks and 1 minute marks in the first 15 minutes. On the black dial, Submariner has inverted triangle to mark 12 o'clock, bars to mark 3, 6, and 9 o'clock, and dots to mark other hour marks. 50 Fathoms have 3, 6, 9, and 12 o'clock numbered and other hour marks in bars. Both Submariner and 50 Fathoms use their iconic handsets. In the dark, Submariner's luminescence is in blue and 50 Fathoms is in green. 50 Fathoms is apparently brighter and has more luminescent elements, especially all the marks and numbers on the bezel. Rolex Submariner is powered by its in-house 3235 caliber with power reserve of 70 hours and frequency of 8 Hz. 50 Fathoms is driven by its classic Blancpain 1315 caliber with power reserve of 120 hours and frequency of 4 Hz. Blancpain 50 Fathoms has a transparent back, where the 1315 caliber with platinum rotor could be easily seen, while the Submariner still uses sealed back. The Submariner is paired with Oyster bracelet, the folding Oyster lock safety clasp, and the Rolex Glad Lock extension system. This is the most comfortable stainless steel bracelet that I've ever worn, while this 50 Fathoms is paired with a NATO strap. The double layer under the watch cover the caliber window and add it to the overall thickness on the wrist. Number 4. Design language. From the appearance, 50 Fathoms is like a droplet, emphasizing the round shape. On the side of the case, 50 Fathoms kept most part of the round curve on the watch case and only used the small lugs. Both bezel and watch cover use dome sapphire crystals, while Submariner shows its toughness by more straight lines. Submariner chooses to draw a straight transition from the lug to the case and use flat sapphire crystal and flat ceramic on the top. 50 Fathoms feels elegant and warm. Submariner feels strong and tough. The dial and bezel design of 50 Fathoms and Submariner show two types of balances. Submariner uses small numbers and bulky marks to make sure the whole round is relatively uniform. While for 50 Fathoms, when the diamond on the bezel is matched at 12 o'clock on the dial, Number marks on the bezel and dial overlap to show more weight along a cross shape. Both styles were inherited from their own ancestors. Number 5. Marketing strategy. Since first released in 1953, Rolex used consistent design on the Submariner. Concentration and focus paid off. After 70 years, Submariner design itself draws more attention than Rolex can serve. The same strategy applied to all Rolex models, and this amazing collection makes Rolex brand the synonym of luxury watches. I believe Rolex will continue to keep its iconic design and only improve on details forever. Well, for 50 Fathoms, because of the 20 years gap, Blancpain has to work harder to earn it back. In the past 20 years, Blancpain has expanded the 50 Fathoms collection significantly. On the official website, there are 104 products in 50 Fathoms collection. Even if we exclude the Bassett and only count the ones with sapphire bezel, there are 46 watches with different sizes, case material, straps, and complications. While under Rolex, there are only 8 products under Submariner's collection. Even if we include all the diving watches, there are only 13 watches. At this time point, I believe both Rolex and Blancpain are taking the marketing and product line strategies that are most suitable for themselves. Number 6. On the wrist. On the wrist, Submariner is heavier because of the bulky case design and the metal bracelet. 50 Fathoms is actually thicker, which was enhanced by the 2 layers of NATO strap under the case. Overall, both watches are comfortable to wear. While both models can easily handle casual scenarios, Submariner is more versatile and performs more harmonious with dressy than this 50 Fathoms. Number 7. Price and availability. Submariner is officially priced at $10,250 plus tax. It is still unavailable in the ADs. A 1 to 2 years of waiting time and purchase history is typically required. On the secondary market, a new Rolex Submariner usually costs about $14,000. For the 50 Fathoms, the situation is in the opposite. This specific 50 Fathoms is priced at $17,400 plus tax. Because this 50 Fathoms is the limited edition which is sold out, the $15,300 price of the mass production 50 Fathoms is more meaningful for comparison here. The mass production 50 Fathoms is readily available in most boutiques and ADs. On the secondary market, a new mass production 50 Fathoms only takes between $10,000 and $13,000. In summary, both Blancpain 50 Fathoms 70th anniversary and Rolex Submariner are outstanding diving watches, backed by long history and extensive technical innovations. Submariner is more common and easily recognizable, while 50 Fathoms is more under the radar. Submariner uses flat surface and straight lines to mark toughness, while 50 Fathoms prefers dome and curve to present elegance. Submariner is the popular collection in a famous brand, while 50 Fathoms and Blancpain are still niche. Between the Rolex Submariner and Blancpain 50 Fathoms, which one do you prefer? What is the specific model you would choose? Please leave your answers down below in the comments. If you like this video, please hit the thumb up button and subscribe to this channel. I'll see you next time. I'm out.